So today, I would like to talk about this one topic. Not this one topic, but this event that is about to happen later this year, and that is Crisis on Infinite Earth by the CW. The CW has been doing crossover since 2014, but today I'm not going to be doing this alone. I have my friend Colin here. He's gonna be talking about it as well. Colin has been a fan of comics for how long now?
Wow. That's a good question. I can remember me buying comic books, being able to buy comic books with my own money. My parents gave me Bobby since '91. I even bought like the Death of Superman. So Spider-Man has always been my top guy. So yeah, since '91, I want to say. So yeah, the Crisis on Infinite Earths. It definitely looks exciting. And there's a lot of stuff to break down with this new crossover that's coming in December. So, but before we get into the Crisis on Infinite Earths, what was your favorite crossover out of all six? Because this is going to be number six.
Yeah, I gotta say that the Elseworlds was one of my favorites so far. I've always been excited for every crossover, and I always think how they're gonna top it. And I gotta say that every time I get more excited. And I don't know if because the last one wasn't bigger because it had less episodes than the previous one. The previous crossover had like 4 episodes.
Yeah, but and that one you're talking about, Crisis on Earth X,
Right.
and I feel like that one, yes, it had more episodes, but it wasn't as good. And I agree with you. Elseworlds was my favorite. My least favorite was the first one, Arrow versus the Flash, but I guess they were testing it out to see how it
Right.
would work across both shows. The second one was Legends of Tomorrow. Really, it's called Heroes Join Forces, but it was mainly to introduce Legends of Tomorrow with Hawkgirl and Hawkeye. Was it Hawkman?
Yeah,
Hawkman.
Yeah,
And then you see what happened to those characters.
it's crazy to think that those characters are nowhere to be found.
This is what I'm saying. Then the next one was with the Dominators, and that one was called Invasions.
Right.
That one was pretty dope. I actually liked that one. Crisis on Earth X, with the Nazis. Another crossover that I actually like. That's my second favorite one, to be honest with you. Of course, Elseworlds, and now Crisis on Infinite Earths. Wow. There's a lot of stuff that I did not think they were going to take it there. Meaning I didn't think they would ever have multiple versions of superheroes. I didn't think they would have multiple Superman. It looks like we might have a Batman with Kevin Conroy, one of the iconic voices of Batman. I'm excited to see that. What are you excited to see?
I'm actually excited about the whole thing. Like since the end of those worlds, I was already excited for that crossover, and then right at the end they put Crisis on Infinite Earth.
Yeah.
This fall.
Yeah.
I lost it.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, they're going there already, and I'm like, wait, but Barry's not disappearing until 2024. What are they doing?
Yep.
And they already kind of answered those questions.
Absolutely.
And now this is gonna happen in 2019, and now I'm like, okay, I was excited just for the event, but now they're talking about Black Lightning,
Oh yeah.
Superman Returns,
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Batman, and bringing the voice actor
Mm-hmm.
into it. And there are rumors that we possibly might see the Joker, and this is the stuff that they're telling us. What else is gonna be in this that we don't know?
Yeah, I can't lie, man. It definitely makes me excited because, especially what you're talking about with the Joker being involved, Batman being involved, multiple Supermen. I feel that the way they're setting this up, well, number one, they set it up because of, I believe, in my estimation, I believe it's Nora that triggered the timeline, because you mentioned Barry was supposed to disappear in 2024. I feel like whatever she did unraveled that and made the time reverse to 2019 instead of 2024. So how
Right.
Barry always messes up the timeline?
Mhm.
I feel like this is the one we can actually blame on his daughter with the events that she caused. So
That's true, because the minute that she did, everything that she did throughout the season, the minute that she was gone, that's when the year changed.
Absolutely.
For Barry.
Absolutely.
So this is like her flashpoint.
absolutely.
But she doesn't get to live it or
Yeah,
to know
she
about
doesn't
it.
exist anymore, which
She
is
did-
nuts.
Right, like it's so bad that now your dad is supposed to die earlier, and you're not even there to see it.
I feel like what might happen is they might bring that actress back. I think her name is Jessica Kennedy Parker.
Yes.
I feel like they would bring her back, and she would be one of the Tornado Twins this time. So
True.
I feel like they could pull it off, and you never know. Maybe she'll show up with her brother in Crisis. We never know. I mean, these guys are. It seems like they're able to access more of the characters now than when they originally started out. Because before you couldn't even say Batman
Not at all.
on CW. Like it was against the law to say Batman. And now they talking about bringing on Kevin Conroy. They haven't confirmed who he's playing, but I think we all can surmise who he's going to be.
Yeah, and this is just one Batman. Like, I don't want to get off the topic, but now it's like a Batman bargain sale because Batman is gonna be on Titans.
Oh, yeah.
But that's a different story. But
Yeah.
to give you like you said before, you were like Batman out here, no way.
Yeah.
And now, there's one thing that I almost forgot. The guy that plays John Diggle in the Arrow. There was an interview I was reading, and he mentioned the Green Lantern.
Absolutely.
We might see the Green Lantern.
But they played us because if you rewatch Elseworlds, I think it was Arrow's episode or Supergirl's episode. I think it was Arrow's episode that almost at the end of the episode when they met Marnell Vu, the old Flash from the 90s came back, and he's introducing himself and he says, "Hello, John," and he says, "You aren't wearing your ring."
Right.
And he said things must be different here, and I'm like, see, this is y'all messing with me again, yo. I can't. I mean,
There's so many
yes, I was
clues.
happy, but then it was like, come on, just give us Green Lantern already. We know he's John Stewart, and even in last season of Arrow, his stepfather's last name was Stewart. I almost died when I saw that because I couldn't believe they're shoving it in our faces, but won't confirm that he's a Green Lantern from another universe. Hey, maybe in the crossover he might finally get that ring. So let's see.
I mean, it's the perfect time. Arrow is going off the air, so where can John Diggle go?
You never know. He might have a Green Lantern show, so that might be the ultimate spinoff right there. I don't see why not.
You can see this guy leaving Earth by the end of Crisis. I mean, not living forever, but his sector.
Absolutely.
I mean, they have been dropping Green Lantern hints since probably season 1 or 2, because one time Barry was at the airport and he mentioned, "Oh, some pilot disappeared years ago," and that was like a Green Lantern reference.
Well, I'll be honest with you. They were at Ferris Airport, and I don't remember if it was a Flash or Arrow, and a gentleman walked by with a bomber jacket and had the last name Jordan on it. I don't know if any of you actually know the reference, but that's Hal Jordan, one of the original Green Lanterns. So they always throwing Green Lantern out there, but for some reason they won't pull the trigger. And I hope they do. I guess the CGI might be too much for them because I heard the Flash spends a lot of money on CGI. So maybe that might be the reason. I'm not sure.
But if you're gonna do a character like that, this is the time. You're gonna have a 5-hour movie on the CW, and they're gonna give us 3 hours first, and I think it's gonna end then in January.
Yes,
in 2
that's
hours.
correct.
So there's gonna be this cliffhanger, and we're gonna be like, really?
Yeah.
Who knows? Like they're gonna surprise us at the end, or somebody's gonna die at the end of the 3 hours. Like this is the time. Like,
Well, somebody's definitely gonna die, and I feel like it won't be Barry, but I feel like it's just weird because in season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow, Oliver is still alive, and he's missing an arm. And usually they're pretty good with tying up their timeline or bringing back the timeline to relevance. Like they'll make mention of Connor Hawke in that season of Legends of Tomorrow, and they actually brought him back in last season of Arrow with the flash forwards. So I want to know how they're going to be able to convince me that Arrow is still alive or Arrow is dead when I already know in the future he wasn't dead. But then again, it's timelines. Nothing is certain with DC timelines. So let's see what happens.
I mean, they always come with some ways of just, we're not thinking how are they gonna do this. Is he Oliver really gonna die, or is he just going to disappear? Where are they really gonna go with this?
Right.
We're saying, oh, Barry's not gonna die, but is this version going to die? And then we get like a different version for some reason or something, because this event is going to collapse all universes. So literally anything could happen here. Are we by the end of this? Are we gonna have the current characters that we're seeing, or we're gonna have characters from all over the universes?
Well, it sounds like it's going to be multiple universes, which I'm fine with. But you did mention something yesterday where you said we're not really seeing the original timeline Barry anymore. Where when Reverse Flash and him went back to him and the Reverse Flash went back in time and he tried to stop the Reverse Flash from killing his mom. That original timeline Barry, where is he? We haven't seen him yet. So it's possible he's going to be be in the crossover as well. You never know. Because that Barry wasn't supposed to be the Flash so young. He was actually supposed to be the Flash like 5 or 6 years later than he initially came to be. So I don't know. I'm excited. I even heard that Stephen Amell is playing multiple characters, more than 2.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, what is he going to be and how? I don't know. I'm definitely excited. It's like going to see a Marvel movie. Like, that one Marvel movie, like any Avengers or Black Panther or whatever. That's how I feel. Like, I can't wait for December to get here.
Definitely. And something that you mentioned there about how this is like an Avengers type of movie, but it's on TV. It's amazing how CW has had 8 years to build up to this.
Absolutely.
And here we are, when a TV show on a budget, and anytime that I doubt that they can get better, they prove me wrong. But anytime that I think that a big budget movie, when DC is gonna do something good, it doesn't happen.
And that's all to, I guess, the staff, meaning from the top to the bottom. You have people like Kreisberg and those guys holding down the fort, and obviously they must know something about comic books that they're able to pull off stuff like this. You have somebody like Jeff Johns in the pipeline, and he is working on Titans. He's worked on, I think, season 1, and he's also working on season 2. So, if you love Titans, he definitely has a hand in that. And I love Titans season 1. Can't wait for season 2. But I'm definitely looking forward to this crossover. That's my Christmas present. So, yeah, honestly, man, I'm really excited.
I gotta agree with that.
I'm really excited, man. Like these guys, man.
Greg Berlanti, I didn't know who this guy was back in 2012, but I know that name very well these days, and I gotta give it up to him. How this has developed, this is not easy. Like 2012, who the hell was the Green Arrow?
Yeah.
Who was Stephen Amell?
Yeah.
And who was the Green Arrow?
Yeah.
And today he's like the Iron Man of CWDC.
That's true. That's exactly a great comparison. He is the Iron Man of the CW. He is. He really is. He started this whole thing. I even take it back. When I first heard him cast as Green Arrow, I was like, oh my God, why? Because I actually I think his name is Josh Hartley or Jason Hartley, the guy from Smallville, the Arrow from Smallville. I actually liked him as Arrow, but the way they took it dark with Arrow, oh man, with Stephen Amell, I couldn't remember the other guy. You see, I can't even remember his name now. So that's how much I actually like Stephen Amell as Arrow. So they did a great job. I'm not sure about the Batwoman show, but that's another topic for another day. But everything else has been home runs for those guys. So bravo to them.
Yeah, so far, like, the worst publicity that they had is the Batwoman trailer, but we haven't even seen the show, so probably what we saw in the trailer, we might not even get it.
Yeah.
It might be something else. But so far, a lot of shows that they have put out there, they've been very well.
Except for Legends of Tomorrow.
Especially the last season.
Yes. I was rooting for Legends of Tomorrow, especially season 2. It was phenomenal with the Reverse Flash. And then to me, it's just they went into this kiddie, make-believe, silly world. And I feel like the writers and the producers were trying to sabotage the show to be canceled because I couldn't understand how after the 3rd season they were still going. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't, because you have somebody like Damien Dark fighting Bebo, and it was just silly. It was silly. And if you guys don't know what Bebo is, just Google it, YouTube it, you'll see what it is. It's silly. But that's the only one. And like I said, it seems like self-sabotage because season 2 was awesome.
It's silly, and even there was one of their actors, the one that plays Heatwave, he said that at the beginning he didn't want to be in that show,
Absolutely.
and now he enjoys it, and I guess since the formula works, he's loving it, and hey, kudos to them.
Yeah.
I know that we don't agree with what they're doing now, but it's working for
I
them.
mean, there's a show for everyone. So
Right.
just because I don't like it doesn't mean you might not. You know, you might love it. It's not. I guess because I know that Arrow started out dark and more serious. Flash is kind of lighthearted, but it does have its dark moments.
Right.
But Legends of Tomorrow just seems silly all
Very,
around, and,
very.
and that's where they kind of lose me. So
So I thought that when last year they were not in the Elseworlds crossover, I'm thinking, does that mean something?
yeah, I thought they were gonna get canceled too.
Right.
I thought so too.
And the next thing you know, this year they're voted like the best season.
Yeah, that's
So-
crazy.
Now they're gonna be on Crisis Infinite Earth because it will make no sense if they were not in it.
Right.
And now they're doing good. But back to Crisis, there was another piece of information that I haven't even discussed. Supposedly, also we're gonna get Lex Luthor.
But which one? Because we already have one Lex Luthor that was revived from Supergirl. So which Lex Luthor are you talking about?
We're gonna get that one. Supposedly, we also gonna get not supposedly. We are gonna get that one because Monitor
Yes,
gave him his life back.
that's right.
But we're also gonna get another Earth, Les Luthor. Now, what are they gonna do with this Les Luthor? I don't think they're gonna give us your typical Les Luthor.
Yeah, that's right.
I think what they're going to do there, he's gonna be the good guy from that Earth, and maybe in that Earth, Superman is like the dark version.
Oh, they have they actually have animated movie like that. So it's not far off. They actually, I think it is called Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's an animated DC movie where exactly what you just said happened, where the Justice League was all bad guys and Lex Luthor was a good guy, and he was leading all of the villains that we know. They were also heroes on his Earth. So I don't see that far fetched at all.
Is that the movie where the Flash tricked the other Flash to run really fast?
Yes.
And that's that.
Yes, that's the movie.
I remember. Yes.
And it wasn't the Flash. It was Batman that tricked him because he told his Flash, "You're not fast enough to run at that speed." And then that's when the other guy, I think his name was Johnny Quick, I think, and he said, "Well, no one's faster than me." And then he did it, and he was able to run that fast, but he ran so fast that he ran himself into old age and ended up dying. Before he died, he told Batman, "Good one, mate. You probably knew this was going to happen." Of course, Batman, master strategist, he knew exactly what was going to happen. So
I was laughing after that. I was like,
yeah, Batman is a savage. We know this.
But what? How do you think this crossover is gonna go down? Like, if it was up to you, what do you think is? How would you end this?
Wow. I don't even. Wow.
It's so much. It's 5 hours. I mean, I'm not a director or a writer, so I cannot even begin to think how I will even put this together. But us as fans, we always fantasizing what would we like to see on screen.
I think the easiest thing is at the end of Arrow's last season, the Monitor came to him and said it's time. So I feel like they're gonna start the season with him knowing, okay, I'm about to die, or there's gonna be a crisis, and I got to get the team together. So he's gonna get with Barry, and he's gonna get with Kara, and then probably get with some other heroes from other Earths. Especially, they have a Flash on, I think, Earth 19, which is called the Accelerated Man. We haven't seen him, so
Yeah.
you never know. And I brought up Earth 19 because Cisco's ex-girlfriend is from Earth 19. Maybe they can breach over there, get her. They can also get that Flash. So I feel like they're gonna pick everybody up, and maybe magically they're gonna bump into Black Lightning on whatever Earth he's on, because they haven't mentioned what Earth he's from. So maybe they'll breach into wherever he is, pick him up and say, "Hey, there's a crisis coming. We need you." And I think that's how it's going to start. Now, if Black Lightning will believe that, let's see. But the main thing is everybody's already, other than Black Lightning, everybody's already been with each other, whether it's Legends. Last year's crossover had Batwoman in it, so everybody's kind of familiar with each other. So they don't need to introduce and say, "Hey, I know you don't know me." They don't need to do that. Everybody can just come together, let's do this. We know there's a super bad guy coming, a super big bad, and we're gonna have to deal with him. And his name is the Anti-Monitor. And I did see pictures of him, and he looks towering. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the photos floating around on the internet, but he's standing there, and then they have the arrow, Stephen Amell's arrow, standing by his boot, and he literally looks like an ant compared to Stephen Amell looks like an ant compared to him. So I'm really excited to see how they're gonna take him down. He's like a Galactus.
Now that you mention how big the Anti-Monitor is, do you think this is when the Atom gets redeemed?
I mean, that character. I mean, that show, man. And I'm a big comic book guy, so I try to watch everything to its entirety. There's only one show that I haven't done that with, and that was Legion, because it was just too slow for me. But man, I think I'm going to give up on Legends of Tomorrow because they made this guy look like a joke. And he's supposed to be some brilliant scientist, but man, I hope he does redeem himself. I really do, and I think he's gonna die. I think to be honest with you, I think his Superman is gonna be the one to die, because they're gonna need someone to sacrifice so that Barry doesn't die. I think he's gonna be the one to do that, and then I think maybe this is gonna be his call to action. Like he saw a mirror image of himself in Superman, and now he's gonna say, "Well, let me step up and be a better leader or be a better Atom." So
Through Atom.
yes, absolutely, because what we've been seeing has been a joke. He was more Atom in when he was on Arrow than he is now. I don't know what happened and how did he depart.
But was that even Atom? Because at some points he was like a, and I don't want to say it like this, but a cheap version of an Iron Man.
Yeah, I agree. Even his suit flying around, and yeah, I agree. I'm not sure why they took his suit there, because usually they're pretty spot on, going back to the source material. So I'm not sure why they chose Iron Man to copy, but
I guess
we'll see.
the popularity of the character at that point, it affects the pop culture.
Yeah, but
so,
people who went to see, I was going to say Giant Man. People went to see Ant-Man, which is also his other name, his alternative name is Giant Man. But people love Ant-Man, so why not actually do that? It's not a blatant ripoff. That's his character's name. He can shrink and he can grow. So why not?
that's a great point there. Like, if they really wanted to go the Iron Man way somehow, I would think that they would do that with Blue Beetle.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. And where has Blue Beetle been? I haven't seen him at all in these. I mean, does he exist? That's another thing.
That's a full CGI character there.
That's true, too. That's true.
I mean, you saw what they did in the 90s with that character, or early 2000s.
I saw what they did on Smallville with that character. So
technology was not available.
Yeah. So and like I said earlier, CGI seems like it's a money pit for CW because they're on such a limited budget. If you notice, you won't see Flash running around too much, and if he does, I feel like it's just recycled images of him running around, which is fine. I get it. I just have to give my kudos to them that they're able to pull off so much with such a limited budget. But man, I can go on and on about this crossover. I'm really excited to see it. Crisis on Infinite Earths, Supergirl does die. Well, I don't know about the crossover, but in the comics, Supergirl dies, Flash vanishes. But I don't know how they're going to continue with the Flash without a Flash. It would make sense if Wally West was still here, because then he could pick up the mantle, but you literally have no Flash now. So, of course, we know he will be back, but I feel like Brandon Roth's Superman is going to be the one to meet his demise. As a one-off character.
I really think they're gonna go that route. But you know how, if we follow the comics, right, and Infinite Earth is supposed to create just one universe. I mean, now you're gonna have like you perhaps can form a Justice League.
Yes.
Because of this.
Absolutely, and I don't see them stopping there. I mean, but. Again, this is up to the suits in Warner Brothers, and if they're going to allow certain characters to be released, such as the Martian Manhunter. Well, they got Martian Manhunter, but like an Aquaman, for example, We know he exists because when they went to Earth 2 on The Flash, they mentioned Arthur Curry's name and Atlantis. No, they actually mentioned Atlantis in Earth 2 when they went to meet Dr. Wells on Earth 2 in The Flash. So we know he exists, but we just haven't met him yet. So let's release the characters and let's have fun. Let's really have fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're going into the sixth crossover.
Mm-hmm.
There is no reason why the Warner Brothers, the big suits out there,
Mm-hmm.
to them to tell them that they can't do something, because look what these people have done with basically nothing. They don't have 150 million laying around.
Thank you.
The ratings are not 6 or 5. The ratings are under 2.
Mm-hmm.
At best it's 2.
Right.
But they still staying out there. They made their money because they're able to license this stuff out.
Absolutely.
later
Netflix
on.
deals. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's really where the money comes from. But you're not talking 250 million to do this. And look where we are from 2012 to 2019.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna top it in 2020. Maybe a Justice League crossover.
That would be awesome.
I mean, everybody's gonna be in one Earth if they follow the comics.
Yeah, I would love that. I would actually love that.
Imagine crossover. I don't know you call it.
This might be a reboot. This might be a reboot for getting rid of all of the other Earths and just having one main Earth. Maybe that's what it is, but let's see.
Because they have the Hall of Justice.
Mm-hmm.
They gave it to us on Invasion.
Yeah,
but they haven't
snuck
gone back.
it in and didn't even mention it again.
But it's there.
Yeah.
So it is time. Like, once you have all these heroes in one Earth, you gotta have the Hall of Justice, and maybe you can have a movie called Justice League. I don't know, War, anything.
Oh man, that would be an awesome one. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to everything. Honestly, I don't know how, like you said, they're gonna top it, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. My DVR, I know it's gonna be on overload because I'm gonna be rewatching it over and over again. But yeah, I'm excited.
I hope that when Stephen Amell, the Green Arrow, that they give him a good send off.
I think they will.
It might be something similar to Iron Man in the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not being a copycat. I mean, he's leaving the show, so somehow there has to be some sort of send off. I'm not gonna go and say that he's gonna go to another Earth or another universe. I think that his sacrifice will be similar to Iron Man.
And you know what? I think that they won't kill him. That's why I mentioned I feel like Brandon Roth's Superman is gonna be the one to perish, because they're gonna bring him back in future seasons. I don't see them killing off Arrow. Maybe he'll do pop-ups every now and then, crossovers with the other shows, but
Right.
I don't see them killing him off. And if they do, they'll probably bring him back and say he's from another Earth. You never know.
That
We'll
too.
see.
I mean, the future crossovers, Stephen Amell, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna keep this on and have 5 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is when was, I think it was last year, that Stephen Amell said, they gotta figure this out, because the filming of this crossover,
It was grueling.
It was hard. So imagine now you have 5 episodes. So
Yeah, imagine the filming. Yeah, so it's gonna be brutal on them, but I mean they're gonna give him the proper send off, and we're all gonna be upset because we want him to come back after this. But I think we'll enjoy it.
So let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you feel about this crossover. Tell us your theories. Just leave it in the comment, positive or negative. Drop a like, subscribe, and just let us know.
Yeah, I'm really interested to hear what you guys have to say and your theories, and what you guys are really, really looking forward to. Because we told you what we're looking forward to. So it's a comic book discussion for everybody. We want to hear everybody. If we agree or disagree, let's just keep it clean, and let's just keep it fun, man. We all enjoy comics, and next time, guys, we'll see you.
Where can they find you?
Okay, so I do have a YouTube channel. It's called Who Else _22, and do a lot of tech unboxings and just lifestyles. Showing a part of myself and my daughter, my son, and my wife, and taking certain trips. So it's just an all-around channel that it's not limited to any one subject. So you guys can check me out there.
Check him out. Subscribe to both of us. You can also find Comics Tiger on Instagram and Facebook. So, like I said, drop your theories, your comments, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.